Hello, history enthusiasts. Welcome back to another exciting episode on the Alternate History channel. Today we are delving into a crucial moment that has shaped the world we know today. We are casting our eyes back to the 8th century, a time of tumult and transformation, where we'll ask the question, what if the Umayyad Caliphate had won the Battle of Tours? In our reality, this pivotal battle marked a halt to the Islamic expansion into Europe. But in our alternative timeline, things are going to be quite different. Before we dive in, remember, if you enjoy exploring the what-ifs of history with us, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a new scenario. Drop us a comment below with your thoughts on today's topic or suggestions for future videos. Now let's roll back the clock and see what might have been had the Umayyads emerged victorious at Tours. To understand the immense gravity of the scenario we're exploring today, we first need to step back and situate ourselves in the historical context that led to the Battle of Tours. The year is 711 AD, and the Umayyad Caliphate, hailing from the Arabian Peninsula, has successfully mounted an invasion of the Visigothic kingdom in Hispania, marking the beginning of 8 centuries of Muslim rule in the Iberian Peninsula. Over the next decade, the Umayyads expanded their territory across the Pyrenees and into Gaul, present-day France, under the leadership of Al-Sam ibn Malik al-Khawlani. However, the death of Al-Sam in the Battle of Toulouse in 721 AD led to a brief halt in the Muslim expansion. Despite this setback, the Umayyads were undeterred. Their sights were firmly set on the heartlands of Europe, a conquest they believed would not only expand their caliphate, but also bring a wealth of resources and prestige. The stage was set for a showdown that would become one of the most defining moments in the history of Europe, the Battle of Tours. At the center of this conflict, on the Muslim side, stood Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi, the governor of Al-Andalus, who replaced Al-Sam. A capable military commander, he was tasked with the monumental objective of breaching deeper into the European mainland. On the other side was Charles Martel, the de facto ruler of Francia. Known as the Hammer, Charles was a battle-hardened leader who recognized the threat posed by the Umayyads and was determined to stop their advance. The Battle of Tours in 732 AD, or the Battle of Poitiers as it is sometimes known, was a key moment in the Umayyads' invasion of Europe. The battle was a decisive victory for Charles Martel and the Frankish and Burgundian forces, effectively halting the Umayyads' expansion into Western Europe. But what if this historic encounter had gone the other way? What if Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi and his forces emerged victorious in the Battle of Tours, altering the course of history as we know it? Let's delve into this riveting alternate timeline. To conceive of an Umayyad victory at the Battle of Tours, we must first reimagine Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi's strategy. In our original timeline, the Umayyads relied heavily on their formidable cavalry, expecting their charge to break the Frankish lines. However, the Franks' sturdy infantry formation, a dense line of heavily armed warriors, the infamous shield wall, held firm, repelling the Muslim cavalry and ultimately securing a Frankish victory. In this alternate timeline, al-Ghafiqi adopts a more diversified approach. Instead of a straightforward charge, he decides to use a combination of his superior light cavalry and infantry to disrupt and eventually disperse the Frankish shield wall. He understood the need for a more patient and tactical approach, feigning retreats, luring sections of the Frankish forces out of formation, and capitalizing on these moments of disarray with swift, focused cavalry charges. The battle, still fiercely fought, ends with a different victor. The Umayyad forces, leveraging their new tactics, managed to fracture the formidable Frankish shield wall, causing confusion and panic in the ranks. Charles Martel, unable to rally his forces and stabilize the situation, is forced to retreat. This Umayyad victory has immediate and far-reaching consequences. With Charles Martel defeated and his forces in disarray, nothing stands between the Umayyads and the heart of Europe. Word of the Muslim victory at Tours sends shockwaves throughout the continent, causing fear and confusion. In the power vacuum left by the retreating Franks, many southern cities quickly surrender to the advancing Umayyad forces, hoping for a merciful treatment. In our new timeline, the Muslims consolidate their power and start making administrative and cultural imprints on their new territories, just as they had done in Spain. The victory at Tor bolsters the Umayyad Caliphate's image back in the Middle East. It is seen as a divine endorsement of their rule, further solidifying their control over their territories. The economic wealth flowing from their new European territories into the Caliphate fuels an age of unprecedented prosperity and cultural development. Meanwhile, in Europe, the shock of the defeat causes a seismic shift in the balance of power. As the Umayyad forces continue their consolidation of Europe, significant cultural, religious, and political shifts begin to take place. With southern and central parts of Europe now under Umayyad control, a new era of Islamic influence begins. The Umayyads' policy of tolerance allows Christians and Jews to practice their religion, but also promotes Islamic culture and encourages conversions through social and economic incentives. Many of the Greek and Roman texts that were lost to Europe during the Dark Ages, but preserved by Muslim scholars, are reintroduced more quickly. This leads to an early and more culturally diversified Renaissance, as Europe benefits from the rich philosophical and scientific traditions of the Islamic Golden Age. Europe's political landscape undergoes a significant shift as well. Many of the nation-states that were destined to form are now replaced by a patchwork of autonomous regions under the loose control of the Umayyad Caliphate. The feudal system that was prevalent in medieval Europe is never fully developed. Instead, a system more akin to the Islamic Iqta, a sort of land grant system, takes root. While Islam becomes a dominant force in the south and central parts of Europe, the north, including areas like the British Isles, Scandinavia, and parts of northern Germany and Eastern Europe, remain largely Christian. This religious divide could potentially lead to conflicts in the future, similar to the Christian-Muslim conflicts seen in our timeline. In the Middle East, the Umayyad Caliphate's reign lasts longer, their victory at Tor providing them with increased prestige and economic strength. However, given the internal and external challenges they faced, it's likely a revolution similar to the Abbasid revolution in our timeline would eventually occur. In this alternative timeline, the world develops differently, with a stronger Islamic influence in Europe and a complex, interwoven tapestry of Christian and Muslim states. A victory at the Battle of Tor doesn't just change a single battle's outcome, but it shifts the course of history, reshaping cultures, religions, and nations for centuries to come. And there you have it, folks, a journey through a world where the Battle of Tor swung in favour of the Umayyads, resulting in a drastically different Europe and a fascinating blend of cultures that have far-reaching implications even today. The annals of history may be written, but as we've seen, even a single change can ripple into an entirely different reality. But the beauty of alternate history is that it is a realm of endless possibilities. So, we have to ask, what do you think would have happened had the Umayyads triumphed at Tor? Don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed our historical journey today. And please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the mesmerizing world of What If. As always, we love reading your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Until next time, stay curious, keep asking questions, and continue exploring history with us. Farewell for now.